Good day, ladies and gents. I'm Emilio A. Colon, and the boys are fucking back. Welcome to the EAC Show. So glad for you to join us, showing up from sunny South Florida. And joining me on today's episode, we got UCF activist, the overall sports enthusiast, the originator, Cameron Dinnan. Appreciate you coming on. I see you with that. What is that?
Yes, sir.
FD hat.
Supporting the brother, supporting the troops, supporting the first responders. You got to do it every once in a while. 4th of July, coming off of the big 4th of July, first podcast since then. So you know how to give a shout out, but great to be back, man.
So excited. I took pretty much a whole month off, had some technical issues, a couple of things that I was handling, but the boys are back. So much to talk about. NBA Finals, Conor McGregor fight, the Euros, the Copa, whatever you want to discuss, Cam, we're all here to talk about it. What do you want to start off with? Let me know.
Let's get it. Why don't we start out with, I'm not the biggest soccer fan. I know you're deep into that, but let's get started there since I'm fresh. Because I've been watching it the last few days.
So let me explain something to you. The Copa America and the Euros has been ridiculous. And if you're not following it, something is absolutely wrong with you, because the shootouts, the fouls, the controversies, whatever, if you're going for England, if you're not going for England, if you're going for Italy, if you're not going for Italy, if you're going for Brazil, if you're not going for Brazil, if you're going for Argentina, if you're not going for Argentina, this shit has been ridiculous. The Euros have been great. The Copa America has been great. Cam, tell me who you're going for. I'll put in all my enthusiasm and passion at the end.
So you got Colombia versus Brazil, you said it was?
Oh, you got Argentina versus Brazil.
Argentina versus Brazil. Man, I feel like I'm a big Messi fan. I like Messi a lot. I like to see him do well and win. But I feel like it's been a while since Brazil's been on top of the mountaintops, or at least they haven't been so often like they were when I was younger and watched them. So I feel like we'll go with Brazil. Why not? I don't got a dog in the fight.
Hey, I'm going with Samba all day long. Brazil, we're riding with them. The canary yellows, the blue, the white. That whole shit is fly as hell. Nike, shout out to you. You do an amazing job when it comes to Brazil. I'm going with Brazil all day long. Neymar, big fan of him as well. PSG represent all that good shit. The Euros now. The Euros, Cam, I'm going to take the lead on the Euros. The Euros, we got England. It's coming home versus Italy.
It's coming
not so fucking fast, because I got Italy, the Italians, the pasta, the marinara sauce. Give me all of it. The pizza, the cheese. Give me all of it.
It's coming home versus it's coming to Rome. Those is what you got going against each other. And you probably know me. You probably thought I was going to take Italy, but I watched them a little bit of their game versus Spain, and I like what they did there. But they play a very slow. A lot of people call it a boring style of soccer, very methodical. They try to pick you apart, and they play great defense. And, I'm a novice soccer fan. So when I do end up watching soccer, I want to see a lot of goals. I don't want to keep seeing these 1-0 games. So for that reason, I'm going to pick England. I'm going to go against the grain here, and maybe we can get a little side bet going.
In the words of our famous friend, the Budos, all of them that we all know. Cameron, go fuck yourself, because Italy is going to win this game.
How about the Italians?
Italy is going to win this game, hands down, without question. I'm going with them. England is not coming home. I'm sorry. You guys have been literally riding the wave of every game being in England. It's been played at Wembley. You guys have been benefiting. Almost every last game was played in Wembley Stadium. So you guys have had a home field advantage. I think Italy takes this game. I can't wait to see it. You and I can have some type of bet. I'll get you some fish and chips if they win. You could get me a piece of pizza, whatever you want.
Some meatball marinara if Italy wins.
Without question. So let's talk about now the NBA Finals, which is going on. This is game 2. It's about to start in a little bit, Cam. Game 1 went to the Phoenix Suns. You have a big cojones, massive balls bet on the Phoenix Suns. Please fill the listeners and the viewers on what you took early in the year.
Yes, huge dick on the table bet. I'm a big futures guy. I like to, the long term, because it's like, you put some money on it and you're like, all right, whether I win or lose, I'm not going to have to worry about this until 7-8 months down the line. So every year in basketball and football, I like to pick a wild card, like a out of the reach kind of from the gutter team in each conference. This year I picked the Celtics in the Eastern Conference, which is a fucking dump. I thought they were getting James Harden. I thought I had a tip, a source. That didn't happen. But then the Western team I bet on was the Phoenix Suns, like you said. I bet this, Emilio, in November of 2020, and it was a plus 8,000 bet. I put $50. I mean, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Wish you would have put more. I put $50 to win $4,000 in November on the Phoenix Suns to win the whole ship, the whole championship, the day or two after they got Chris Paul. That's what I did.
Wow.
So, I mean, you can ask me why I did it, but the reason why, I mean, I'm rambling here. I saw how they did in the bubble. They went 8-0 in the bubble. They almost fucked around and made the playoffs, squeaked into the playoffs when they didn't have business to. And I love Devin Booker. I really like DeAndre Ayton. I think the reason why they're here is because on DeAndre Ayton. It's great guard play they're getting out of Chris Paul and Devin Booker and Cameron Payne, but they feed the beast down low. He had 22 points and 19 rebounds in the first game. He's a fucking animal. He's bringing old school basketball back. He's fun to watch. Nice guy, you can tell. But I love this team, man. And I've been on them all year, and I've been sitting on this bet. You know, you're really one of the only people that I've kind of talked it out with. Otherwise, it's just been like a no-hitter. I've been treating it like a no-hitter. I haven't been talking about it.
Listen, I'm so happy for you. I told you let it ride. I don't know why in God's green earth you tried to hedge it just a little bit.
Yeah, you know what? I hedged it because that's just me by nature, man. I'm careful. You know, I've been sitting on this baby for a long time. And, you know, instead of, you know, I told you the parameters of it, but instead of losing $50 or winning 4,000, I got it at like win 800 or win 3,500. And you know what? I'm making out either way. You know, yeah, $4,000 is better than 3,500, but at least now I can be comfortable watching the games. And if all else loses, and if the fucking the Bucks flip this series, you know, I get $800 out of it. So we'll see. And I got a little prop on.
Hats off to you. You pulled that shit off. Like, I can't believe you took that shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, I was close last year. I had the Nuggets. Remember, I had the Nuggets last year to win the Western Conference Finals. The same kind of bet, like 50 to win something crazy like that. And they played the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. So I've been hitting on, you know, close to these wild cards. I just, you know, had to cash one in. But I also have a prop just in case the Bucks were to win of Chris Middleton winning the MVP.
A bunch of people have that shit. I think it's plus 125 or some shit like that.
I got it at plus 1,500. I got plus 1,500. It was like 50 to win 750. So we'll see what it looks like.
Listen,
I'm covered.
I applaud you for taking that. In all honesty, I'm still gonna ride with the Bucks. I think Giannis figures out a way to do it. This guy's playing like a damn animal in game one. He's not even 100%. So I think in some way, shape, or form, I figure the Bucks will get it done. I hope it happens for you. I'm just going with my pick based off what I see.
The best thing that the Bucks organization and Giannis can do is for them to realize and for him to realize that he is and could be the best number 2 to ever play the game of basketball. They don't win the big games. They don't take the next step and go to the next level with him because he tries to play like the number 1. He can't do it until he gets his shot down and like a Brook Lopez that's big like that, but the athleticism of what he is now, Giannis, until he changes, you know, alters his game a little bit and expands on it, he can't be the number 1 guy. He's got to be a freak of nature. They got to put him on the block where he belongs. He tries to back up to the fucking mid-court and then bum rush whoever's guarding him and drive in for a layup. Sometimes it works, but it slows the game down. It's not fluent. You can't play ball like that. He's got to be a number 2. And Chris Middleton can be a number 1. He's getting a little older, but, you know, I don't know. You get a Dame Lillard to be the number 1 and then him to be a number 2, and I think they don't lose a game. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I envision the Giannis team should be.
Right. I mean, listen, it's gonna be a good finals. I mean, it's in Phoenix, so it doesn't turn into a series until someone loses a home game. So
that's true. That's true.
Phoenix can win 2 at home and then go to Milwaukee and lose 2 at Milwaukee. So it doesn't really matter.
You know what? That could happen, or, you know, I'm getting cocky now, Emilio, so I got to watch it, but it could turn into a series in game 3 when the Suns go up 3-0 and they take a home game from someone.
Yeah, that's true. That's 100% true. And the last thing we're basically going to talk about, I'm just so happy that we're doing this show. It took me a month to get this done just between scheduling and a couple other things. We're going to talk about UFC. Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier, fight number 3. This is the 3rd time that these two are getting at it. Conor won the first one. Dustin won the second one. A little bit of bad blood back and forth where Dustin got upset at Conor for not donating to his charity like he said he would. Conor said, look, little man, big bank, take little bank. Until you show me a business plan, I ain't giving you a fucking dollar of my money. Shout out to Conor McGregor, too, for being the Forbes list 100, I think it's 100 or something like that, top athlete earner of last year, even in the COVID pandemic, selling proper number 12 for a large amount of money. So shout out to him. Supposedly it's like $180 million that he ended up making last year.
Yeah.
Big
and he
bank.
only made, I think, like 60 million off fights. So the majority of it was endorsements and his products, like the Proper 12 whiskey, which you mentioned. But yeah, I'm excited for this fight. They're calling it the trilogy. I mean, I'm going to put it very simply. This is a must-win fight for Conor McGregor. Must win. I mean, he's getting into that dangerous. You remember when Ronda Rousey, like, she was like one loss away from being a fucking ghost. Like, she lost her first fight, and then the next fight was a must-win, or else she was going to disappear. I don't think that happens to Conor because I think he's much bigger than she was. Obviously, I feel like that's an obvious thing to say, but I mean it from his perspective of he's gone. He started his career 19-2, 19-3. His last 6 fights, he's 3-3. He's lost a lot of steam. You feel like if he loses this fight, he's not going to be as sexy of a pull for people. He'll still draw people in with his mouth and his marketing for the fight, but I mean, this is a must. I think it's a must win for Conor, and you know, it's the trilogy. So you're not going to get another crack at this dude, Dustin. You got to beat him here. You got to beat him on Saturday.
Conor's plus 105. Dustin's minus 135 on some books.
They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do with it. The odds makers don't know what to do with it. They just fucking, if they could make it a pick 'em, they would, but they can't do it. They have to.
So I went back to look at some of the stuff that Conor has been, doing in the past, and Conor's a total package in what you want as a fighter for that type of promotion. He fights, he backs it up, he talks his shit, he backs it up, he loses gracefully. There's some off the field stuff that you just, out of the mat stuff that you just don't want to see that he gets involved in. But
oh, you mean like punching like an 80-year-old dude in a bar?
Other than that, he literally
or when he threw a bus, or when he threw a chair at a bus.
That stuff you don't want. That's the stuff you don't want. But everything else that comes with it, when it comes to selling a fight, he's up there with Muhammad Ali, in my opinion.
There's no one better. There's no one better. There's no one that makes you want to watch a fight than Conor McGregor. Yeah, he's like a late Muhammad Ali. It's kind of like what he models. You know who's also great at selling a fight? Tyson Fury. Also great at selling a fight.
What do you feel about that? Tyson Fury was supposed to fight Anthony Joshua. Obviously, because of the contract of DeAndre Wilder, they had to do the rematch before he could fight Anthony Joshua. Are you afraid that Wilder might pull off and beat Fury and fuck up the bag that's happening in Saudi Arabia between Fury and Joshua?
You know what? I think Jones has that capability.
You mean Wilder?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm thinking of Josh Jones or Bones Jones from fucking UFC. Yeah. Wow. I think he has the capability. I think he has one of the most, if not the most, damaging right hand in the sport of boxing. I think he's the kind of guy where even if you've beaten him in the past, it just takes one swing for him. So it's hard for me to call the fight this far out in advance and make a prediction. I truly think Tyson's going to win this fight and cap up a trilogy. Another trilogy we get to talk about in a few months when this fight pulls up. But I don't know. I think I see Fury pulling it out, but I think it's stupid. I think he should be fighting Joshua now. I think that contract kind of fucked him, because you can always fight Wilder for a third time,
right?
Like, move on, get the money, get this money, defend your belt, come back, and I don't know. I just thought it fucked him a little bit. It makes it repetitive. I feel like we've seen these guys. I feel like they only fight each other now. Like they fought 10 times. It's felt like.
I feel like there's nothing new under the sun. So this is what's going to end up happening. This happened many, many years ago. Many years ago. You're too young to remember this other than looking it up. Muhammad Ali was stripped of his title. Stripped of it because of his situation and him not going to fight in Vietnam. Stripped of his title. I've
seen the movie with Will Smith.
Right. The champion then was Frazier. Frazier was the champion. A handshake agreement between Muhammad Ali and Frazier is that they were going to fight as long as Frazier, handled his business against George Foreman. George Foreman came in and said, "Fuck that shit." He beat Frazier, and now Muhammad Ali had to go chase George Foreman instead of fighting Joe Frazier. So I see the same exact thing happening where Deontay Wilder is going to ruin the big bag that's already planned to happen between Fury and Joshua, and Wilder's going to win this fight.
Yeah, but it's flipped because Muhammad Ali was the champion, or no, Muhammad Ali was the champion, right? No, you're right. You're right.
They stripped him.
Yeah, they stripped him. Right. So yeah, similar situation. Yeah, that could potentially you might be stars aligning. History repeats itself, kind of thing.
Now I know we weren't gonna address those are the only subjects that we had to do, but I'm just so excited that we're doing this show. And Cameron, I really do appreciate you coming on. Cameron, the last subject that I want to touch before I let you go, because I know you got stuff to do. And once again, like I said, thank you for coming on. Tell me about this situation. I know how I feel about it, right? But tell me how you feel about this situation where all of a sudden now these fucking pitchers don't know how to fucking pitch in baseball.
Yeah, isn't that something? And you got to see a lot of guys like Josh Donaldson taunting pitchers as he's walking around the bases. And yeah, I see you flexing your Mets gear. I mean, DeGrom never needed the sticky stuff, huh?
No, we don't need no sticky stuff over here.
And what is he going to be, a sub 1.0 ERA going into the All-Star break? I mean,
ain't no sticky shit over here. Not on this side of New York.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. Garrett Cole on the other end of New York is having they're having some problems with him.
Him and Chapman.
What?
Him and Chapman.
Yeah. I mean, let me tell you something, man. That's such a corkscrew and a wrench thrown into the middle of the season like that. Like that can fuck a team up so bad, and we're seeing it. But I don't know what's going to happen in the long term. They'll probably have to, in the offseason, make an official ruling and, look at some more data and break it down a little bit further. I just thought it was a kind of a jump the gun move from Rob Manfred.
I love Uncle Rob doing this. You want to know why? Because it levels the playing field. Enough of this bullshit. You got they've perfected it. It's not rosin and it's not sunscreen or whatever it may be. It's not pine tar. It's not that. They're going to other levels to modify this substance to where literally I can throw my curveball and get so much spin on it. I can spin the fastball even better. My changeup will look nicer because I'm using this sticky substance.
Right. It's that apparent. It's affecting the throw. It's affecting the game that much. It's benefiting to them that much. Like that's damning. And you're starting to see it, like I said, with these pitchers that don't even look, they're like shells of themselves without this stuff.
Dude, it's like me and you going to Pine Trails Park and hitting right there in Pine Trails, and you throw me a curveball. You're Garrett Cole. Your curveball don't spin like that without Spider Tech. Nah,
it's crazy. It almost makes you think, how long has this stuff been in play? Forever,
Yeah. And listen, I'm happy that they're trying to figure out a way to take it out of the game because it's going to level the playing field. You're going to see guys who their ERAs were so low, not low anymore. Guys are going to be able to hit again. It's going to change everything in baseball. And I'm so excited because baseball is exciting when runs are scored. When runs aren't scored, majority of the time, people tune out.
Correct.
Well, that's going to conclude this episode. Cameron, I appreciate you coming on. I know you're on a tight schedule with going to watch the Suns game. I hope the Suns win for you tonight. I don't hope they win the series because
I got to get the bread.
I got no
wants. Come on. How you going to do your boy like that? Fat tip coming if they hit.
Like, subscribe on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. And Cameron, once again, I really do appreciate you coming on, my friend. Thank you so much.
No doubt, my boy.
All right,
take care.